right now it's a little early in the morning to be jumping on, but I thought it would be fun. I've been kind of planning on this a little bit to prep myself, get myself in the zone to go online today. So take a second real quick and say hi if you're jumping on with me. I'm going to show you guys some pretty cool stuff today. You'll see by the map that I've got behind me that you're going to want to check out. So I hope that you're doing well today. I hope that today is going good and that we're getting maybe some stuff done today, getting after it a little bit. So I was really thinking, and I was reading this week about just a lot of stuff, kind of studying and preparing for my messages for the next couple of weeks, and just kind of stumbled upon a resource that I thought was really interesting and a couple of stats that I thought were interesting as well. So this is the stat that kind of stuck out to me. You know, you think about your community that you live in, whatever that community is. You might be listening right now and watching right now from somewhere close by where we are. If you don't know Second Place, we are a small church that has been in Will County for the past 11 years, and we're currently meeting in Frankfort, Illinois at Camp Manitoqua. And before that, we were in Moni, and we have plans to move back into Moni and to really transform the community for God and for good. And so the thing that I was thinking about, and the thing that I noticed, is that the stat said that when it comes to church growth, when it comes to churches really having an impact in their area, that 94% of churches are lagging behind the growth of their community. And so that means that 94 out of 100 churches are lagging behind the growth of their community. And so it just means that the growth of the community is outpacing the growth of the church. And so in my email today out to many of you that get that, and if you don't, you can shoot me a message and I'll get it to you. I use this quote from A.W. Tozer, who said, "In a time when everything in the world seems to be vanity, God is depending on us to proclaim that He is the great reality." So the question is that I started to think about is, well, if 94% of churches are lagging behind the growth of their community, how are we doing in our area? And not just Second Place, but as the church as a whole. Many of you may know that the Moni Alliance of Churches consists of about 8 churches that have come together to just do good in the community and to spread the good news of Jesus and the truth of God. And that's just kind of like our contribution to the marketplace of ideas, just like Paul did in Acts, where he went and he spoke to those that would listen, and he would say, here's an idea, here's a thought that the God that you're following is not actually real, and that there's actually a true God that you can follow. And so that's our contribution to the community, and it's changed so many lives, and we've seen so much good happen in the community. We opened up our new food pantry this week in Moni. We saw about 90 families come through, a massive number for us at the food pantry, and just a great thing to kick off that day. And so here we are. We're trying to contribute to the good of the community, and we're wanting to communicate our message of hope and truth and grace through Jesus and through the Lord and the God of the Bible. And so I was stumbled upon this resource, and so I just wanted to jump in. And if you're listening right now, holler at me, give me a little wave, or just say hi, and maybe let me know what community that you live in. And the reason is because I want to show you really quickly how we can see how we're doing and what the opportunity is for us in this area that I'm going to look at for us. So this is a tool that, again, I stumbled upon this past week. And basically what I'm going to show you is you can go in and you can type in a zip code. And of course, this is Moni. And the zip code allows us to see kind of like this radius. And this radius is approximately 1 mile radius around Moni. And on this side, we see that there is basically a little dashboard on this side, and hopefully you can see that. Maybe I can move it over a little bit. I don't know if I can move it. Nope, doesn't look like I can. Let's see what else I can do here to help you guys see this. Let's see. There we go. So so you see this dashboard on the right side. Now, when I type in the zip code for Moni and hit return, this is where it brings me. And there isn't any data here. So the reason is because the data that this tool uses, there just isn't enough there. And so we need to kind of back out the radius a little bit and see what we can get. And when we keep doing that, we'll kind of get that, and we click here, and we can see that there is data that we can jump in and see. And the data will show us that there is some interesting stuff happening. So for some reason, it's going to work here. Let's see. So this is Will County. And Will County is, because of our area and because it's a rural area and it needs some data to get some statistics and some things that are going to work for us, we have to kind of look at a bigger area. So if we look at Will County, and that kind of gets us going, we can see that over here on the right, let me check and see what you're seeing. Yep, you might have to zoom in a little bit, but that shows us that there are different categories of folks and who attends church. Now, I know that attending church doesn't mean that you are a good person. It doesn't, just like if you park yourself in a garage, it doesn't make you a car. But the idea that if someone is going to church, that means that they're a part of a community of faith, and that they are being taught and they're learning about God and that sort of thing, and they're hopefully doing some good in the community. If someone rarely or occasionally attends a religious service, that would mean to me that they're not a part of a community of faith. They're primarily walking through life without really the truth of Scripture and Jesus and God in their kind of their mind, they're in their heart. They're kind of carrying the baggage of life on their own. And so I kind of look at these first two stats as being basically people that don't have a church home and are not living with the truth of the Lord in their heart, even though they might be doing great things in the community. They may be awesome people, and they may be your neighbors and super cool. There's just something missing in their life that they may not be able to put their finger on. So here, what we see in Will County, if I add this correctly, it's about 53.22% or so. 53% of the people in Will County rarely attend or occasionally attend a religious service. Now, that's interesting, but really, what does that say? Well, first of all, I would tell you that it's like 1 out of 2 people. So if you're watching this right now, you live in Will County, there is a 50-50 odds that you are a church-going person or going to a religious service of some type. So now, if I show you guys this is again Will County. This is an area, I don't even know where this. Oh, it's near Manhattan, and this is about a 1 mile radius around Manhattan, Illinois. And this shows us here that the 2010, again, that's 10 years old. We got a new census coming out, so hopefully we'll get new data soon. But I heard that guy that was in charge just quit, so I don't know what's happening with that. But in 2010, there were 13,798 people that were in this radius. Now, when you think about that, that means that then if 53% of them are not someone who is attending a church, that means that there's about 6,400 people. I don't know if I did that math right, but I don't know. It's like close to 7,000 people that are not necessarily attending church or a religious service of some type. I think that that's pretty powerful. If we zoom out a little bit, let me try to do that here a second. You got to move some windows, which always is fun. If I zoom out a little bit, and we kind of cruise over to, let's see, whoa, we zoomed way out. Sorry, guys. We're going out way out to that area. Let's see if we can do it this way. Don't you love technology, guys? Don't you love it? Don't you love it? So let's get back to our Manhattan spot, and we'll cruise over to the Moni area. So you guys can see, let's see if I can just type in Moni. It might happen. You never know. If I just type in Moni, here we go. So this is Moni proper, about a mile radius. We've got 9,000 people. Again, this is a mile radius, which means it's a 2-mile circumference. And there's 9,000 people. If you guys know our vision to be right about here in Moni, this is right off of 57 in Pauling Road, that there are 9,000 people that are in that radius. That would mean there's about 4,500 people that don't have a church home. And here's the crazy thing. We all know that Second Place is a regional church. So that means that people are driving in from a much farther distance than just 1 mile or 2 miles. But if you were to look at maybe something like 15 miles, okay? So 15 miles. We have people that attend our church from New Lenox, and maybe the church you go to, if you attend a different church, you have people coming in from far away. We have people coming from Tinley Park. We have people coming from Manteno, even further south, from Kankakee. We have folks from Manhattan. We have folks that are coming from Indiana. And so this radius right here kind of shows a little bit of a footprint of who, at least for our church, for Second Place, who we're connecting with and seeing attend. Now, here's what's crazy. In that radius that we're seeing people come from, there are 657,000 basically people who are in that radius. That would mean that in that radius, about 50% of them do not have a church home, do not attend a church regularly. So that would be, this is math. I need David Vales, shout out. I need Susan Donovan right now. I need everybody that's a math major from any college anywhere to help me out. But basically, you've got 330,000 people. Think about it for a second. 330,000 people who do not have a church home, who are walking through life without the truth of the fact that they are loved, that their life can change, that they belong and can belong to a community that loves them and wants the best for them, and that their life matters. Like, this is 330,000 people that are walking through life like that. So I wanted to jump on today. I wanted to show you guys this tool. I wanted to show you the opportunity that we have. So here's how I break that down, and I'm going to give you some thoughts when it comes to just how do we process this much information and those big of numbers, right? And the way that I do that is I think about it this way. If you go to the grocery store, and there are, right now, let's say there's 25 people, let's do an even number. Let's say there's 30 people in the grocery store. That means 15 of them are somebody that is not going to church. That's what the odds would tell us. If you live in a house and you have a neighbor on your right and a neighbor on your left and a neighbor in front of you and a neighbor behind you, 2 out of the 4 of them are people who don't have a church home. If you live in an apartment or a condominium that has multiple unit building, you could count the number of units and start to ask yourself, okay, if there are 10 units in this building, that means that 5 families here don't attend a church regularly. Now, that may be like eye-opening for you, I don't know, but I want to give you 3 things that you can do to start to help put your head and heart around this, okay? Number 1, start praying for your neighbors. Start praying for your neighbors. Biggest idea that you can do is literally start praying for the person that lives in front of you, behind you, to the right of you, to the left of you. And if you're in an apartment building or a condominium, then you've got people above you and below you, and you can be praying for all of them. And guess what? Their last names are probably on the mailbox of buzzers on the front of your building. And so you can be praying for them by last name at least, and be doing that. Now, we have another tool that we're going to be releasing in the next and telling you guys about in the next few weeks and and months that is really powerful and awesome. But for now, just be praying for your neighbors. That's number one. Number two, the second thing you can do is, what can you do to build some sort of relationship with them? I mean, it's probably not going to be the most effective to go over to their home and knock on their door, especially right now, and be like, hey, let me tell you about all the ways that you're living wrong. That's not going to probably work well. And so I would tell you, like, how can you build a relationship with them? Maybe it's helping them out when it starts to snow. In our area, it's going to be snowing over the next few weeks and months. So you could help them get their driveway or sidewalk shoveled. You could leave them a small gift that might say, hey, just was thinking of you, praying for you. Hope things. This is just an encouragement to you in our world right now. But anything that you can do, even just like finding out their name, waving, saying hello, all those things are like things that you can do. So crazy that many of us live next door to people we don't even know. And so that's just a second thing that you can do, is to build a relationship with them in some way, shape, or form. And then the third thing is that we have an opportunity that's coming up that I wanted you guys to know about. We are going to be 100% online on January 31st. That's the last Sunday of the month. It's typically our family weekend that we have children and families together all in the room. And back when we were in person at full strength, these were just amazing Sundays that we would get together. Well, it's not really feasible to do that right now. And so we are taking Family Weekend online 100% on January 31st. So here's the third thing that you can do. You can begin to intentionally plan for that service to be awesome. Like, to maybe get your family ready. We're going to be sending out resources to get ready for that service and have available, and we're going to interact with you throughout the service with the things that we give you. If you want some of that stuff, just reach out to us, message us, and let us know. You can think about how to plan as a family. You can, if you're comfortable, maybe you have a bubble that you are comfortable with, and you can invite them over. Some of our connect groups are kind of like connecting in small groups and being able to be together with them, or simply just sharing the video that morning and sharing the message, because it's going to have something for everyone, young, old, those who are searching for God, those who have been walking with God for a long time. And so that's the third thing, is to plan ahead right now for January 31st. Here's the amazing thing, is that if you do that, what you know right now, based on this tool that's amazing, is that there are 50% of the people that are in Will County, at least, and who knows how many online, right, are searching for the truth that's going to set them free and to give them meaning and purpose, and to see their life change and transform into an amazing story. And so I want to be a part of that story. I want you to be a part of that story. I want us to be a part of that story together. So this is me just jumping on right now, giving you some thoughts to think about. Share the video. Let folks know that this might be interesting for some of your friends who are in other states that are wanting to reach their community. I can share this tool with you and let you know how they can access it as well. So if you want to share that with them, share this video, and then I can get that to them if they message me. So you guys are awesome. Hey, I'm praying for you guys. Have a great rest of the week. Today is we're kind of towards the end of this week. If you're watching later, that's kind of when this hits. But we're excited, man, because God is doing some great stuff. And if you don't have a church home and you're watching this right now, Second Place meets on Sunday mornings in person at 8:45 and 9 a.m. and 10:45. I got those switched. 8:45. 9 o'clock and 10:45 in person, and we're online on Saturday night at 5 p.m. and on Sunday morning at 8:45 a.m. You can check out our website, secondplacechurch.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on, and subscribe to us on YouTube. If you don't have a church home, we're scrappy, we're crazy. We love reaching the world for Jesus and doing some great things to help our communities. So you guys have a great rest of your day, and go get some stuff done. As I usually say, get after it. We'll see you guys.